Man, am I going to have to stick up for Stephen A. Snitch again? And before you guys get mad at me, I understand where Stephen A. Snitch is coming from, but I do think that he is doing too much of pro-establishment here, and I don't think this is the time to be speaking ill of Will Smith while he has a movie, right? I don't think this is the time to address this, you know. But here, Stephen A. Smith is going to address the criticism he says he received after saying he finds it hard to watch Will Smith movies after the Oscar slap. And same here. Like same here. Like out of respect for Chris Rock, I'm like, it's really hard for me to really look at Will Smith the same, but I just don't think this is the time to talk about this. Only because he does have a movie right now. You know, that's kind of fucking up with his hustle. And on top of that, I do have the grace to understand that Will Smith is in an abusive relationship with Jada Smith. Anyway, let's press play.
I don't know if I'll ever get over what Will Smith did to Chris Rock. But that doesn't mean I have to. And it doesn't mean that it's a license for me to negatively impact Will Smith. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock was a devastating thing. I'm not talking just for Chris Rock, who's a friend of mine. I'm talking for the black community because obviously Will Packer was the first black producer to be doing the Oscars in its history. And that was a devastating blow to him.
Fair use. And that was ridiculous in terms of because that was the first, it was like an all black event basically. And Will Packer was doing the thing and it just made ninjas look bad. I'm sorry, it just made ninjas look bad. But that's a whole other discussion. Let's continue.
Him. Will Smith came out with Emancipation a year later for Apple and all of that stuff. Will Smith was sensational in that movie. So was Antoine Fuqua, the esteemed director and producer extraordinaire. One could easily argue that both of them would have won an Oscar for that. I don't know if I'll ever get over
let's hit
what Will Smith did. I was thinking about black folks everywhere aspiring to be in this business, aspiring to succeed. And something like that happens and it was a blemish on all of us. Because I know how much white America reveres Will Smith. And the thinking along the lines in my mind was, hell, if he did that, what would the rest of us do? There are certain things that happen in the lives of an individual where those incidences are used as a license to castigate the rest of us. And that's what I was thinking about when I said what I said Friday about being torn as to wanting to go see the movie, but not wanting to see Will Smith. I wasn't encouraging anybody else not to do it. I was just saying that I was having trouble dealing with it. I was thinking about black folks everywhere aspiring to be in this business, aspiring to succeed.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to look up a video.
And then you got to take it to.
I want to see because maybe I missed it, but did Will Smith apologize to Chris Rock? I'm pretty sure he apologized to him. You know, I'm pretty sure he did. But is it like, but wouldn't Chris Rock be the first person to be like, look, he did this, let's just move on. But anyway, let's continue.
To account the fact that throughout Will Smith's life, not just his career, there has been exponentially far more good than bad. And I certainly did not mean to gloss over that. I didn't mean to act like that wasn't reality, that didn't happen. And so I really appreciate my man, my brother, Charlie Mack, for calling me and passionately making that case to remind me of what Will Smith is, who he is, and what he has meant to all of us. You see black people gravitating to him. I'm getting text messages and emails all over the place who said he lost our support. He never lost it. We didn't like what he did. It was unfortunate what he did. But damn it, we love Will Smith and we forgive him. You don't hear Chris Rock talking about it, complaining about him. Eventually they'll meet and they'll talk, Stephen A. We heard all of that.
So they haven't really talked about it yet. Okay, that's interesting though.
So I got to stand down. And then you got to take into account the fact.
Damn, Stephen A. Smith.
Chris,
he's not standing 10 toes down. 10 toes down.
Rock is damaged. In the day and age of mental illness or traumatic incidences that affects one's mind and psyche and what have you, yeah, you might see him at Knicks games. Yeah, you might see him still going about the business of performing on tour or doing his job or handling his business. Chris Rock will never get over that. Ever.
And he is right. Stephen A. Smith is right on that end.
Will Smith apologized. I'm not
okay, good.
saying he even has to apologize. I'm saying that while I watch him and Martin Lawrence promoting this movie, and I'm quite sure the reason he hasn't addressed it is because the studios don't want him to, and there's an obligation that you have with them, all fair. I get it. But somewhere along the way, he has to sit down. Chris Rock is damaged. A lot of folks ain't get over that. A lot of folks find it hard to just go to the movies to watch you. I'm one of those people. And I never missed a Will Smith movie. Hitch, Concussion, all the Bad Boys movie from the first one to y'all with Gabrielle Union, who, by the way, should have been in 3 and 4, by the way. Along with a host of other things. I Am Legend, Independence Day, Men in Black, 1, 2, and 3. Will Smith, you're phenomenal. Phenomenal talent, phenomenal actor, phenomenal individual. You lost your way one night. We need to hear that from you. I'm sorry. That's what I need to do before I look for. A lot of folks ain't get over it.
So I saw a comment here. It said he taking it so personal, like Will Smith smacked him. I will say this. I will say this though, because let's be objective. Let's be objective here. Let's be objective. Let's be objective. Because when Chris Rock had said the joke was not bad. Out of all the things he could have said about Jada and what Jada and Will were going through during that time, he could have said a lot. I'm talking about he could have said a lot worse. Like Chris Rock could have said a lot worse. And first of all, I'm pretty sure Chris Rock didn't write that joke, the G.I. Jane joke. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he didn't write that joke. Now, let's keep it a buck. Let's change the race of this actor, right? Say if that was what would be like the white equivalent. So there I forgot what there's a white actor out there. I forgot his name. He had like some racist rumors around him. Maybe let me not bring his name up. Let me not bring his name up. Say if a Matthew McConaughey came up there and smacked Chris Rock, would you guys get over it? Even if he would just continue to just do movies or whatever, and he got the same punishment as Will, which was, how many years? 5, 10 years punishment from Oscars, whatever. Would you guys forgive him? You know what I mean? Now, I'm torn here because I do understand that, right now Will Smith is doing a movie. He's trying to get back on his feet. You know what I mean? So to speak, trying to get himself back in the mainstream. So you see him like how he was in the movie theaters with the people trying to promote it and whatnot. But I am torn because I don't like how we're just gonna gloss over the fact that he did Chris Rock dirty, and people say I understand why he do that, even though we know that if that was a white dude making a joke on Will Smith, on Jada's dome, right? If that was Norm Macdonald making a joke at Jada's expense, Will Smith would have stayed in the seat. You got up because you're bigger than Chris Rock, right? And Chris Rock is black, and he'd get over it. That's why you did it. This is why you have guys like Chris Rock, or there are people like that yeah, they'll get over it, but they'll have other people that will stick up for them because they know that people will just get over it. And once life goes on, people are going to give the bully grace. That's how it works, especially if the bully's a Chad or if the bully is somebody that people like anyways, since Will Smith is a likable person, So this is why I'm pretty sure so I don't think it's wrong for Stephen A. Smith to not get over it. Would you tell Chris Rock's brother, Tony Rock, to get over it? No, you guys would not say that in his face. I know people. Y'all want to do that. Y'all want to do that. In fact, you guys would have probably thrown a shot at Will Smith if Tony Rock was up there and you was trying to smile all up in Tony Rock's face. Anyways, I'm sorry. I know people too well. I've been watching you. Anyways, anywho, I don't think this is but now me personally, with all that being said, I don't think this is the time to address that situation because Will Smith is trying to get back on his feet. But it is interesting how Chris Rock is not the victim anymore. Where in the comments now people are just telling him get over it, and that's kind of when we talk about Tyrone slash Chad privileges, I guess that's how it works, unfortunately. But at the same time, this is why guys like a Chris Rock, the people that are close to him, they're not over it. They're not over that because they know because it was Will Smith, they're gonna be like, nah, fuck that. They're gonna be like, nah, fuck that, because they know it's gonna be plenty of people that are just gonna get over it. you know. So somebody said, I have never seen this many beta males like Stephen A. be so personally hurt about a confrontation between two other men. But like I said, I hope you keep that same energy when you see Chris Rock's brother, Tony Rock, Tony Rock, because I'm pretty sure Tony Rock's not over that shit. But that's his brother. Well, so I'm, dude, you know. But like I said, like me personally, I'm torn because I do want Will Smith to do well. I know because well, this is the other part that people don't, because the real villain here is not Will Smith. The real villain of that particular incident, that when that happened, the real villain was Jada, because Jada basically meant like she has some kind of like witchcraft voodoo thing stranglehold on Will Smith's psyche, because when Chris Rock said the G.I. Jane joke, Will Smith was fine. He was, just smiling, and then he looks at Jada, and Jada just gives Will that look, and it just triggered something in Will. And we all that kind of manipulation, people overlook shit like that. I don't. I don't. And really, for me, I'll say this: for me to get over Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on stage, because I know if it was Norm Macdonald, he would have stayed in the seat. I already know that. So that's all. That's already for me on that end. I already know that. I know people too well. Sorry. For me, what Will Smith needs to do, he needs to divorce Jada. I'm talking about just to completely denounce her and be like, yo, and then I don't even, like me, I even said this, I'll give Will Smith this grace. I don't even care if he comes out with a man publicly. I don't even care if he says, I've been hiding this for a while, and Jada, she's known this for a while. This is why things have been weird between us. But I'm finally coming out the closet, right? This is my boyfriend of 2 years now. We've been seeing each other. I'm happy with him. Hopefully, I still want to be friends with Jada. We did create a family together. If he does that, I will completely forgive Will. I'm talking about. I'm telling you, I will completely forgive him. Especially if he just leaves Jada, I will completely forgive him, because what I saw in that audience with Jada giving, that the ugly look, and then just Will looking back, and then him doing something, that's something that you see with a lot of henpecked men. A lot of henpecked men, where when the woman is running the house, this is what happens to these kind of guys, and then they act out emotionally and they do something out of character, something that they regret, and it ends up the collateral damage, because I remember when that moment happened, you had black people particularly black women, to come so, that's black love. I'm like, that's not black love. That's sabotage. That's sabotage. So look at the collateral damage. Just because the bitch couldn't just smile and just laugh at one joke, just one joke. But she was balding. Yeah, nigga. Oh, that's literally like the standard of jokes for men. If you can't even get past a bald joke, like as a man, it's like it's not even. There's no point in you even. there's no point. That means you're just a super sensitive person in general, right? So, out of all the things he could have poked fun of, he just pokes fun of the bitch being severely bald headed, and you just couldn't just shut up, fake laugh for the camera for 2 seconds, for 2 or 3 seconds. They act like this bitch had cancer or something. This bitch got alopecia, boohoo, which is what's it, a form of baldness. I'm like, I know a lot of niggas with that, man. I know a lot of men with that. It is what it is. Anyway, you think men are not sensitive about that stuff too? But that's like the standard jokes. Us making fun of other men getting bald and stuff. Do you know how many hairline jokes Stephen A. Smith be receiving? He just got. I'm pretty sure he doesn't like that himself, but he got to roll with it. He plays it off well. You just got to roll with it. And she couldn't just roll with it for like 2 or 3 seconds. And look at the collateral damage she has caused. Like I said, I don't blame Will Smith for that slap. That was Jada's fault. That was Jada's fault. If Jada just stuck there, laugh it off with the husband, It'll been straight. It'll been straight. But and I even think Chris Rock is a victim of this because I don't even think he wrote the joke. I don't think he wrote the joke. I don't think he wrote the joke. But anyways, somebody said, "Let it go, Nick. People make mistakes." I do. Let me see. He said, "I'm sure Chris is good too." You see, this is where, yeah. So you see, this is why I don't think women make good therapists because she's going by emotion because she likes Will, right? No disrespect, and she's like, "I'm sure Chris Rock is good." He's probably not actually, but I, you know, of course, Chris Rock isn't. So somebody said, if Chris Rock isn't bringing this back up, then why is he? There's no point in Chris Rock bringing it back up because if he brings it back up, look how you're treating Stephen A. Smith for bringing it up. Chris Rock bring it back up. You guys are going to shame him for bringing it back up during this time. So, like me personally, even though I do want obviously I want Will Smith to succeed in life. I still want him to work. Obviously, I don't, you know, it is what it is on that end. But that's because I like Will Smith and I know what he's going through as a man. And most men don't want to address that part, what he's going through, because a lot of men are afraid of their women or just afraid of women in general. And this is why certain things happen the way they happen. But me personally, I still kind of look at Will Smith a bit sideways off that situation. Like, and you can't just tell me, oh, I got to get over it. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. So yeah, that's just my opinion on that. So first of all, Stephen A. Smith has the right to feel the way that he feels. I just think this is just wrong timing in terms of, because Will Smith he's having a movie promo. He needs to get back on his feet in terms of getting those A-list movies again. You know what I mean? And really endearing himself back to the public. He needs all the support that he can get from his fellow black celebrity, fellow black male celebrity, members. You know what I mean? But look at the collateral damage one bitch can do. Now people are choosing sides. The people that like Stephen A. Smith don't like him. No more people that like Will Smith. Now they're choosing sides with Will Smith or Chris Rock. Are you team Chris Rock? You look at all over one bitch. Over one bitch, bro. This is really the truth. This is really the true story. This is really the real background juice on this. That's wild.